Marin, and we were in the bed, and we were in the bed, and I was like, Marin, I stink so bad. And she was like, so do I. It's so hot in here. And I was like, okay, we're besties. And she was like, I don't care. I was like, I don't care. That to me is quintessential like Liz Tuccillo writing at its best.
Yeah.
Because when they shot it, she's like, the scene is scripted as like an 18-minute scene.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I'm gonna have to cut it up. And I saw the version of it when she cut it, and I was like, oh my God, it's like Apocalypse Now.
It's brilliant.
It's just like she just keeps getting, yeah.
It's brilliant. No, it's
I thought she did a great job.
And Marin did a great job. That's precisely, I think, what drew me to the script, was that it was challenging offbeat. Like, that's why you make independent film, right? That's the whole point, where you could just sort of rehash the same old romantic comedy thing. You could slag through that swamp yet again, or you could actually do something that's interesting with characters that you aren't entirely sympathetic, but at the same time, by the end of the movie, you find yourself totally rooting for, and it is offbeat, and it's weird, and it's sort of a different story, a way of looking at this genre, and that's thrilling, that's exciting, that's why you want to do this.
Yeah. I feel like last night in the screening, I just said this, that like when Michael Stahl David made the comment about when people ask me for help, it's like they're literally sucking the air out of my lungs, and there was this got a great laugh. But Tom said it was like a nervous laugh, like, oh God, that's it, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
And there was an honesty to that.
Yeah.
And an honesty to these people who are complicated. I like complicated characters because when I feel like I don't really fit into a mold of like, people may look at me and say, oh, well, this is like, everybody, we all do that. We all sort of look around and go,
try to categorize
this is your life, this is your life, this is your life. Right. And I don't think that's how life is. And I loved how, like, what a brat Franny was. And like, kind of in her entitlement that people should be taking care of her and how she wanted to stay at her house. And I was listening last night to her thing, and I was like, you are such a brat. Like, you are putting everybody out of your way. But when you're in it, it does make sense. And you do feel sorry for yourself. And so, I don't know, I felt like it just, it felt honest.
Yeah.
And I thought there's going to be a fun job at taking people who could be considered unlikable, unsympathetic, and making people root for them. There's a sex scene in it, and usually sex scenes are my least, they're so nerve-wracking. Like, they're not fun, and they're like, hey, okay, we're gonna hump each other, it's gonna be weird, and we're in front of 25 people. And I remember we're like, Jesus Christ, how many times are we gonna do this? And how many, we've got it. And I was like, I don't know I have no idea what she's gonna do.
She shot so many different angles, so many different ways, and like,
and I love that sex scene.
It's so great. Like,
I love
the finished
it.
product is actually really sweet and gentle, and
oh, it's so funny.
It's funny, and
I love it. I think it's like, I find it very charming.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm such a like douchebag for saying that. But I really see it every time, and I think for this moment I get swept up in these characters, and I'm like, oh God, this is how, like, there's something tender about it, and I don't know, I go for it. I think that's the word, activating it. And so for me, my homework, I do a lot of homework on my scripts anyway, but like a serial killer, my scripts look like a serial killer. But it was about, like, there's writing everywhere, tabs and crap everywhere. But this really, and for Liz and for our DP, a lot went into the color palette of what you would be looking at. So like, I remember going up to Harlem and sitting there and sitting in a bed and them doing color palette. And I didn't quite understand it, but now when I see the movie, I'm like, okay, it made sense that these colors were better than maybe going with blues and stuff. It was all very thought out. And then I think activities.
Yeah, the warmer colors were easier to look at repeatedly.
Yeah. And I think activities helped and coming up with things that made it feel new and trying to arc it, and the evolution of a lot of stuff. There was impediment work, and there was impediment work. There was also work on drugs, because she was taking a lot of oxy, and trying to find like the realism of that. It's funny. My boyfriend had hurt his leg. He hurt his shoulder. His shoulder, his like elbow, boxing, and so he was going to this amazing like physical therapist. And I said, I kept saying to Liz, do we have a physical therapist? And she was like, no. And I was like, this impediment work is really important. So I called her. I was like, we have no money. Would you please, can we come? And she really just sheets was like, this is what you do. This is this. This is this. Like, she came up with the way that we would climb the stairs and do this. And so I really worked with her to come up with each sort of step of the way, with each new contraption on the body, because it was really important that when she saw the movie, that she wasn't like, oh Christ, that Leslie Bibb really screwed that up. But it's so constrictive. It is so tight. Like it helps you because there is no give, and you are in a vice grip. Like everything, that it helps with the impediment. There was one leg thing that was kind of a little loose, and I was like, I'm gonna screw this up unless I have like like a broom behind me locking my leg out. But it was kind of fun. Like in that you start to become more imaginative because you really are in it, and there's no thing like being in that thing. I became this person that when I had the cast on, by like probably after the first week, if you hit my arm, sometimes I would say ow.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Jesus, I've become like some weird method. But it's because you're holding it so much. And then you would sort of jump, like, I'm sorry. Like before even, people kept doing that, and I was like, okay.
Oh, I mean, it was weird because I was getting like really protective of her when like people would walk by with like, like the boom operator would be walking by or something and wouldn't be paying attention to where the pole's going, and you would get anywhere near her injured leg. I'd be like, what are you doing, dude? Look out. And you have to catch yourself and be like, right, she's not acting. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know what I mean? It became very strange.